in case you've been living under a rock for the last several months, Sony and Arrowhead released a video game called Helldivers 2 for PlayStation and on Steam. Early on, there was news of a requirement to connect a PlayStation Network account with your Steam account if you bought the game on Steam, obviously. Apparently this never happened. It didn't happen early on anyway, because inadequacies with capabilities of the servers, I guess. So Sony kind of just like, we'll wait and do that later. Well, later came about a week or so ago when Sony announced that Steam players are going to have to link a PlayStation Network account to their account on Steam so they can continue playing Helldivers 2. Well, this throws a snag up because in a lot of countries, Steam is offered, but PlayStation Network is not. Apparently in over 170 countries, Helldivers 2 was delisted on Steam due to this requirement. This caused a flurry of refunds, obviously, because, I mean, if you can't play the game, I mean, it's completely out of your control. You deserve a refund. Which brings me to the next point. Sony has decided to back down on what would have been enforced starting May 30th, which was the linking of the two accounts. Now, they didn't do this just out of the kindness of their heart. Did this because they're losing money. Did this because fans have spoken. Over 200,000 negative reviews hit Steam. That's a lot. In the last couple of days, April 5th, to be exact, Sony went to X, formerly known as Twitter, released a statement saying that they quote-unquote heard gamers. And they went on to say, talk about they're not going to make the requirement, they're removing the requirement, they're not going to enforce it on May 30th, blah, blah, blah. Some big, thing that ought to be celebrated, like, ooh, Sony's doing something for the team. No, Sony's doing this because money. All corporations operate on money. Just like Wendy's backing down on their Uber-like surge pricing on their food. Link in the description below. When people put money into play and remove that money from being spent with corporations like Sony, it's amazing that gamers came together and were able to get this resolved this quick. The only problem is with corporations, they do things like this to see what the public reaction is going to be. So then they turn around, they spend millions to figure out how to get around this based on the information they receive from this attempt. And then they come back at it. Maybe not Helldivers 2. Maybe it'll be, in the future it might be the next God of War game. Maybe it'll be, maybe if they ever brought back a Twisted Metal. Maybe it'll be one of the Twisted Metal games. There's no telling. I mean, maybe it could be a sports title that Sony owns the rights to. Mark my words, they will come back with another attempt at forcing people or gamers to connect PlayStation Network accounts with another platform, whether that's Steam, Epic Game Store, or whatever. They will. This is far from over. Don't celebrate too much. I mean, enjoy it, but just know this is a battle, not the war. Let me know in the comments below what you think.